Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
Today's beer is kind of a hybrid. I was wanting to brew something Oktoberfest-ish, but I still wanted to play with some Kveik yeast from Imperial. So what I did was I just brewed up a simple smash beer with German ingredients and fermented it out on the porch warm with Imperial A37 Pog. So what we're going to do is taste this beer and see if it's close to any style that we that we might recognize and see if it's any good. So here's the beer. I start off with 8 gallons of water at 150 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 liters at 65 C. And into that I put 10 pounds or 4.5 kilograms of Vienna. And I held that at 150 degrees Fahrenheit or 65 C for 90 minutes. And at the end of that 90 minutes I collected my wort and started my boil, and at the beginning of that boil I added 1.5 ounces or 42.5 grams of Hallertau Mittelfrüh at 4.2%. I boiled for 60 minutes. At the end of that 60 minutes I turned out the heat and added 1/2 ounce or 14 grams of the Hallertau Mittelfrüh and chilled only down to 90 degrees Fahrenheit or 32 C. That's because that Kveik yeast likes to be pitched warm. So I pitched A37 Pog, and then I put it out on the porch where it was in the 80s Fahrenheit, and it got to work in like 2.5 hours. It was blah, 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 blah. But it was starting to get cool that night, so I brought it inside into the guest bathroom or my fermentation chamber, and there it kept fairly warm, and it was done in like 3 days. And by the end of the week, I had beer in the keg, and I was drinking it. Original gravity 1043, final gravity 1008 for an ABV of 4.6%. So Steve, this had a nice, beautiful head on it, but we've had some technical issues, so it's, it's a story of our lives recently. So what do you think?
Well, I got to tell you, I've had an opportunity to I've drank quite a bit of this. It's really, really good. This is one of the nicest beers that I've had from you or anybody in quite a long time.
Wow.
It's really, really good.
Wow.
And it's fruity. It's very pleasant to drink. It's very refreshing. It's not heavy. It's not big. No. It's really a good beer. I feel a little guilty. It's kind of like every week or every month, we just kind of go, "Hey, Steve, what do you think?" And then I go, "Oh, it's really good." I don't know what to say about it. These Norwegian Kveik yeasts are just amazing to me, that you could brew a beer on a Saturday and pretty much be drinking it the next Saturday, and have it be this clean. And if you hadn't told me this hadn't been lagered and all that kind of stuff, I wouldn't have known.
Now it's plenty fruity. It's
fruity.
It's not an Oktoberfest, but it's got kind of the bones of an Oktoberfest in the background. Yeah. That Vienna malt is nice and malty. It's got a super nice mouthfeel to it. But then since it's Hallertau Mittelfrüh, you wouldn't think that there'd be a lot of fruitiness to those hops. So the fruitiness has got to come a lot from that yeast. It's got to.
Well, it's just really nice. I don't know if it's just scratching an itch that I've got today beer-wise, but that's a super good beer. That's just the kind of beer I like to drink, as a matter of fact. So, kudos.
Yeah, I don't know.
Of course, if you'd learn to package your beer a little better, I'd be.
Don't show the Mr. Beer logo.
And the labels. The labels are where
I spared no expense.
You spared no expense.
Pogtoberfest label there.
Well, it does an honor to one of my favorite songs, Poggy Sue. Oh, Poggy. And anyway,
Poggy Sue.
Also, huh?
Poggy Sue got lagered.
Yeah, Poggy Sue got lagered. And then
movie.
String of Pogs. That's a little deep.
All right.
Okay. I have nothing worth saying left.
It's a super simple beer. It's a super nice beer. It proves what a good yeast, an expressive yeast, can do. to kind of bridge. You know, it's more, to me, it's more of like a malty pale ale, juicy. It's almost like a juicy pale ale without a whole lot of bitterness, and it's a little hazy. But I don't know. I don't know where I'd put it in the style guidelines other than just tasty. Yeah,
I don't either. And that was the thing. I didn't want to fall into the trap, to be honest, about trying to nitpick down into the style of it, because I'm not an expert. You know what I mean? I mean, I drink a lot of beer, and it's not as crisp. So now I'm going to do that. It's not as crisp and dry, you know, as you would expect a lagered beer to be. But I don't pretend to be able to just taste the beer and go, oh, what? That's 28B. You know, but it's just a really nice, easy drinking beer that I would be very happy to have brewed. So congratulations.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Try it. Happy brewing, everybody.
Come and visit us online. At basicbrewing.com, you can find archive lists of our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs and our Brewer's Logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer. If you're in Fayetteville, Arkansas, stop by Steve's Brew Shop or find him online at stevesbrewshop.com.
Here we are. We have chilled down to 90 degrees Fahrenheit.